Meet Mike Fallon, professional hitman, his specialty, making murder look like a bad day at the office. Let's break down Accident Man. The scene opens with the quiet hum of a bustling city. In the middle of it all, a man named Mike prepares for another job. This time, it's a DJ at his target. The job is simple, clean, and, as usual, Mike plans to make it look like an accident. But this isn't just any accident. No, this one will involve a gas cylinder, turning the scene into a fiery explosion that will leave no trace. With his plan set into motion, Mike doesn't waste time. The hit is quick, efficient, a true professional. As the smoke clears, he speeds away on his motorcycle, heading back to his luxury apartment. A man of few words, Mike is known for getting things done in record time, and it's clear when it comes to his work he's one of the best. No wasted effort, no second guessing. Arriving at his sleek, high-rise apartment, Mike kicks off his boots and heads straight to his computer. A small smile creeps onto his face as he sees the incoming money transfer. Another job completed, another payday. Just as he's about to leave, someone's behind him. Before he can react, a flurry of fists rains down on him. Mike fights back, his moves swift and practiced, but the woman who attacked him is relentless. She's fast, precise, and stronger than he anticipated. Mike's exhausted. She's wearing him down. And then a single word, flamingo, a code. The fight stops instantly.
Flamingo! Flamingo!
The woman steps back, revealing herself to be Xiao Ling, a kung fu expert known for her brutal style. Mike, bruised and frustrated, picks himself off the floor, his apartment now a mess. Expensive furniture and decor lie shattered, a casualty of the fight. Mike is fuming, not because he lost the fight, but because Xiao Ling had been paid to train him. Hurry, destroy his things. He sighs, rubbing his temples. I asked you not to do that. Xiao Ling, unfazed, just gives him a cold smile. You need to stay vigilant. A man who can't protect his own home shouldn't be trusted with a job. Mike glares at her, rubbing the fresh bruises on his face. He's not used to being bested. Not like this. Even after wrecking half his apartment and his pride, Mike has to admit Xiao Ling is the real deal. Not just good, ridiculously good. Her fighting style isn't something you learn from YouTube tutorials or a weekend martial arts class. No, she comes from a legit ancient Chinese kung fu lineage, like scrolls and temples kind of legacy. Mike doesn't hand out compliments often, but even he can't deny it. She might just be the best kung fu fighter on the planet. Painful truth, and also literally painful. Anyway, moving on. Later that night, Mike's out for a walk, probably to get some air or avoid being kicked through his own window again, when he spots a rather large man getting ejected from a bar. Not walked out, thrown. Like garbage on collection day. Mike blinks. Wait a second, is that? Yep, it's Fred. Good old Fred. A familiar face from Mike's past, one of the hitmen from his old crew. Not exactly subtle, but always reliable, especially if the job came with snacks. Mike helps him up and they start walking, catching up like two retired gladiators who accidentally bumped into each other at a grocery store. But Mike's suspicious, of course he is. Did Big Ray send you? He asks, half expecting a blade to the ribs any second. Fred looks hurt, not physically, emotionally. He explains that Big Ray's organization is toast, bankrupt. Turns out the hitman industry isn't recession-proof after all. Nobody's hiring. Everyone's too busy with crypto and podcasts now. Instead, Fred came to the city for a girl. Of course he did. Her name's Lolo. He met her online. Mike already doesn't like where this is going. Fred goes on to say that Lolo never gave him a real address, so he's been wandering the city like a confused tourist. Oh, and he's also been sending her money. Mike just stares at him. Fred, you've been catfished? Fred's face drops. The truth stings harder than Xiao Ling's roundhouse. Feeling bad, and slightly responsible for letting this man-child into the world unsupervised, Mike invites Fred to crash at his place. What could go wrong? Just as they step inside, boom, a closet door bursts open and Xiao Ling launches out like she's in a martial arts-themed horror movie. No warning, no hello, just fists. Mike barely gets his hands up before she's already mid-air. Another training session, apparently. After a brief scuffle, mostly Mike getting beat again, he calls a time out and waves toward Fred. Please, I brought company. Xiao Ling finally backs off, probably disappointed the surprise attack didn't end in a broken arm this time, into the shadows like the terrifying roommate she is, so yeah, welcome back, Fred. Xiao Ling, to her credit, does apologize for punching Fred in the face, and the stomach, probably somewhere else too. In her defense, she thought he was an intruder, not a walking midlife crisis with a duffel bag. After the bruises and awkward introductions are out of the way, Mike tells Fred to get some rest. He's got work to do, another target, another accident to stage. Just another Tuesday, but Fred, not wanting to be dead weight, or maybe just too embarrassed to be a full-time couch potato, offers to help. Mike hesitates, then nods. Maybe the old team still got it. Cut to the next day. Fancy old man must go target. A wealthy recluse with serious trust issues. This guy hasn't left his mansion in what looks like a decade. Security system, motion sensors, probably laser sharks. Getting inside the place, not an option, so Mike and Fred decide to get creative. They hack the old man's automated rolling door. Yes, the garage kind. While the guy's out trimming his bonsai or whatever rich hermits do in their spare time, the door suddenly slams down, hard in his head. Well, it doesn't make it out. Boom. Clean kill. No fingerprints, no mess, no clue, just a gardening accident gone horribly, gloriously wrong. From that moment on, Mike and Fred are back in business. Fred brings the brains, engineering, gadgets, weird but effective ideas. Mike brings the brawn, precision kills hand-to-hand combat, and cool entrances. Together, they're like a twisted Batman and Q combo. If Batman had a Hitman subscription plan, clients start pouring in. Word spreads fast. Everyone wants the duo that can kill without leaving a trace. Executions that look like freak accidents. It's like murder meets modern art. Poetic and profitable. And for the first time in a long while, Mike actually smiles, a real one. If you could see it, which you can't, it'd be kinda sweet. Weirdly sweet for a man who blows people up for money. Business booms, so they build a HQ where they can build tools, and not accidentally set off explosives near the neighbor's dog. One afternoon, while Fred is testing a new device that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi horror movie, an alert flashes on their system. New job, new client, new name. This one's gonna be messy. Now, here's where things get spicy. The new job? Take out Mrs. User's son. Oh boy. Yes, that Mrs. User, the walking nightmare of the criminal underworld, queen of the mafia, owns everything within a 10-mile radius and probably leases out fear itself. She's not just dangerous, she is the danger. You don't touch her, you don't talk about her, and you sure as hell don't go near her son. So, naturally, Mike takes one look at the file and nopes right out of there. Declines the job instantly, like comically fast. Button didn't even finish blinking before he hit. Reject whoever takes that contract. Brass balls. Pebble-sized brain. I'll be surprised if anyone touches that, Mike mutters. Absolutely get rid of it. Flamingo. Yeah, it's that serious. Code word serious. Anyway, Mike and Fred take a breather after a light training session. Okay. Mike getting tossed around by Shaoling again and settled down for a well-deserved coffee break. While sipping his cup of bean-fueled regret, Fred brings up her again. Lilo, the online ghost woman who lured him to this mess of a city. He's starting to suspect she might have been kidnapped. Enter Xiaoling, who's been silently judging from the background. I have a friend who finds missing people, she offers, totally chill like that's a normal thing. Cut to a few days later, Mike and Fred are back on the job. This time, the target's a young man who just clocked out of work, probably planning to binge, watch something and fall asleep halfway through. Poor guy. Step 1 prank call. Oldest trick in the book, but hey, it works. He's distracted, looking confused. Perfect, only it doesn't go perfectly. Cut to the next scene and surprise, they're tied to chairs. Yep, that escalated fast, standing in front of them. A very large man named Armando. Not a bouncer, not a bodyguard, Mrs. User's right-hand man, which is basically the mob equivalent of the Grim Reaper with chest hair. No pleasantries, no threats, just pure, unfiltered beatdown. Armando slams Mike around like he's trying to break a vending machine. Turns out, Mrs. User thinks Mike and Fred were involved in hurting her precious son, which is bad, like fatal bad. Moments later, the queen herself arrives. Mrs. User. In the flesh, she doesn't scream, she doesn't make threats, she just calmly informs them that they've walked right into her trap. That last target they took out. A decoy. Classic bait and break move. She wanted them caught and, well, mission accomplished. So yeah, Mike and Fred, officially screwed. Hope that coffee was worth it. The Mafia Prince himself, and Mrs. User's one and only bundle of joy. She shows them a video. Classic CCTV alleyway drama. According to Mrs. User, someone recently tried to off her son while he was, let's say, conducting business in a sketchy alley. Classy, the would-be assassin. Used a little trick that looked very familiar, setting up Dante's death to look like a random tragic accident, Mike style. Only problem, it didn't work. Turns out, Dante travels with bodyguards who actually earn their paychecks. They saved him in time. Good for Dante, bad for Mike, who now looks really guilty. Mrs. User, being the delightful mob boss that she is, assumes Mike is behind it. But Fred, bless his greasy little heart, jumps in, swears on everything sacred, probably snacks and video games, that they had nothing to do with it. He explains that, yeah, someone did offer them the job, but they turned it down. Why? Because they didn't have a death wish, or a vendetta against an entire crime syndicate. Mrs. User listens, stares, thinks, and finally, she believes them. Great news, right? Wrong. Because belief doesn't come cheap. She's not about to let two high-grade hitmen just walk away after sniffing around her son's murder attempt. So here's the deal, Mike's new job. Protect Dante. Yep, bodyguard duty. For a spoiled mafia hair who thinks bulletproof vests clash with his aesthetic. If Mike refuses, Armando gets the green light to turn Fred into a human smoothie. No pressure. Being the loyal friend that he is, and because Fred was currently 2 seconds away from becoming wall art, Mike agrees. He gets dropped off in the middle of a random road like an Amazon package with no address. So of course he stops by a cafe, because why not? And who's sitting there as casual as ever? Big Ray, mentor, father figure, former boss. The guy Mike once worked for before he accidentally wiped out almost every admin organization. Oops. Turns out Big Ray knows where Mike is because Fred's sweet, trusting Fred sent him a letter. An actual letter. Like it's the 1800s and email hasn't been invented yet. Anyway, Big Ray's not here for a reunion hug. Nope, he's here to talk about the incident. You know, that tiny moment when Mike single-handedly dismantled his old crew. Let's just say there's tension. And Mike, he's got a mafia kid to protect a best friend being held hostage. And now his ex-boss back in the picture. This day just keeps getting better. And here's where things get even more fun. Big Ray, the living legend turned unhoused philosopher, admits the truth. He's broke, bankrupt, finished. Turns out when your protege wipes out your entire hitman crew, business takes a nosedive. Who knew? But the real kicker? Big Ray confesses he was the one who tried to take out Dante. Yep, Mike's own mentor took a swing at the mafia prince and missed. A little awkward, considering Big Ray used to be the gold standard in accidental homicides. Now, can even pull off a fake alley death. Mike is stunned. Big Ray, not so much. He shrugs it off and drops the real bomb. He's not the only one gunning for Dante. Apparently, half the assassin underworld got the same memo. The price on Dante's head. Let's just say it could pull a lot of desperate hitmen out of early retirement. Still, Mike tries to talk him down. Hey Ray, maybe don't murder the kid just yet. My best friend's life kind of depends on it. But Big Ray, yeah, he's not feeling sentimental. He wants money, revenge, and maybe a warm meal. So no, he's not quitting. Worse, he already knows where Dante is. Surprise, it's not hard when the kid's been wearing a GPS tracker like a fashion accessory. Mike books it to Dante's location, pulling his best impression of a babysitter trying to save a toddler from licking a power socket. He begs Dante's entourage to ditch the tracker. Dante, of course, refuses because what's personal safety when you have a matching smartwatch? The team has no choice. They yank it off him. Problem solved. Ha, no. Dante, in a moment of pure unfiltered genius, picks up the broken tracker and swallows it, yup, right down the hatch, because apparently digestion is the new defense strategy. But before Mike can even process that, boom, surprise visitor. Enter Freya, aka the Angel of Death, aka Bounty Hunter, aka Walking Armory with lipstick. She storms in like it's Black Friday and Dante's the last PlayStation on the shelf. Freya's ex-military, trigger happy, and has the calm demeanor of a grenade in a microwave. Mike tries the polite approach. Hey, how about you don't murder the guy? Freya, still nursing a grudge because Mike once poached one of her contracts, declines the invitation. She's not here to talk, she's here to shoot. And suddenly Mike's got a mafia brat with a GPS in his gut, a death angel on his back, and a former mentor trying to end him. Freya wasn't playing around this time. No more missed shots, no more stolen kills. The Angel of Death was officially on a mission, and failure wasn't on the itinerary. Meanwhile, Mike's phone rings. Who is it? None other than Mafia Queen Supreme Mrs. User. She's on the line barking orders like a crime boss. Alexa, secure Dante, bring him to me. Now, Mike, still juggling a walking liability with a tracker in his stomach, explains the situation. Yeah, tiny problem. Your son swallowed the watch, like, ate it. So unless his digestive system's got Wi-Fi shielding, we've got company incoming. Mrs. User's response. Classic mobster energy. I don't care how. Just keep him safe. With bounty hunters homing in by the minute, Mike does the only logical thing. Drags Dante to the nearest pharmacy and forces him to down a cocktail of digestive accelerants. If there were a fast forward button for your stomach, Dante just hit it. The mission now? Lay low until the GPS makes its grand exit simple. Right? Yeah. No. Another assassin shows up to make his day worse. Meet Yendi Ghanaian bounty hunter, self-proclaimed vampire, and apparently a connoisseur of rare blood types. No, seriously, this guy doesn't just drink blood, he guesses your blood type first. Real gentleman. Obliquely shoves Dante into hiding. Stay down, don't die, and maybe don't eat anything else. Then it's showdown time. Mike vs Vampire Yendi. No gadgets, no tricks, just pure brutality. Mike grabs the nearest iron rod because, well, sometimes you've just got to go medieval on a guy who thinks he's Blade, and it's not going to be pretty. But hey, at least Dante's working on his digestion. After giving Yendi the iron rod special, Mike wastes no time. He grabs Dan, who's still digesting both a watch and his poor life choices, and rushes him back to HQ. There, he's counting on some backup from Siu Ling. Once inside Dante, the chatterbox starts talking like he's hosting a podcast no one subscribed to.
I'm not going in a bucket. I have rights.
Mike, not having it, tries the gentle approach, tells him to lie down, rest, let nature do its thing, poop the tracker out. But of course, Dante keeps running his mouth. So Mike, master of conflict resolution, gives him a clean right hook. Nighty-night, digestion begins now. Meanwhile, across town, in the hostage suite, Fred is living the dream, tied up, watched by Armando, and getting casually strangled every 10 minutes like it's his scheduled cardio. Mrs. User's just vibing in the corner like she's watching a cooking show. Her plan? Keep squeezing Fred like a stress ball until Mike finishes the hitman cleanup job and delivers her precious disaster of a son in one piece. Back at HQ, Mike checks the security cams and hey, look who just dropped in. Su Ling, making her grand entrance. She strolls in, scans the place, and gives it the old kung fu thumbs up, clearly impressed. She casually mentions wanting to become a bounty hunter too. Why not? She already breaks jaws for fun. Might as well get paid for it. But before anyone can start filling out job applications, enter Silas, aka the Strangler. Charming nickname, right? This guy finishes targets with his bare hands, one neck at a time. And yep, you guessed it, he's here for Dante. Too bad he's not alone. Mike's headquarters, officially on the Bounty Hunter GPS tour, and business is booming. And just when you thought the circus had packed up, in rolls the real main act. Poco, also known as the Clown of Death. Imagine if Ronald McDonald moonlighted as a contract killer minus the happy meals and with a lot more homicide. This guy shows up in full clown regalia, floppy shoes, ruffled collar, and all the charm of a haunted Jack in the Box. Word on the street. Born in a brothel, raised on chaos, and wound tighter than a snare drum. Also, fun fact, he feels absolutely no pain. So, yeah, Poco might act like your drunk uncle at a kid's birthday party, but don't let the balloon animal energy fool you. He's a stone-cold killer with a punchline. Silas, already cranky from getting curb stomped earlier, takes one look at Poco's clowning and immediately boots him out the door. Poco flails off dramatically, honks a fake nose, and disappears. Or so it seems. It was all an act. Clown code for you just got played. Cue the confetti. Suddenly, Poco bursts back in, no more jokes, just pain. He lunges at Mike and starts swinging like a deranged payada at a retirement party. But Mike's not in the mood. He manages to get the upper hand, beating Poco down until he's looking more red than Whiteface. Only problem, Poco just laughs it off. Because of course he does. Meanwhile, Silas shakes off his earlier nap and picks a fight with Su Ling. Bad choice. She's not in the mood either. The two throw down in a kung fu vest chokehold showdown that could have sold out pay-per-view. And right then, like fate heard its cue, Dante finally wakes up, clutching his stomach like he's just discovered Taco Tuesday. He rushes to the bathroom and voidy out comes the tracking device, dropped like yesterday's bad decisions. Freedom never smelled so terrible. With the tracker finally flushed out of his system literally, Mike and Su Ling grab Dante and haul him off to a new hiding spot. Peace at last? Of course not, because just as they think it's over, another hitman walks in. And if you're keeping score, that's about one assassin every 10 minutes. Welcome to Mike's life. And just when things seemed like they were winding down, enter Oyumi, Mike's ultimate nemesis. Not just any assassin, oh no. Oyumi is the kind of guy who makes James Bond villains look like amateurs. This guy's a one-man army, a sword-wielding, martial arts mastering, ninja-level agile killer. He's the whole package, and he doesn't mess around. Oyumi also has a strict code. No dirty tricks. This isn't a sneak attack and dip kind of guy. No. Oyumi wants a fair fight. He wants a duel, so he challenges Mike to a one-on-one face-off. The winner gets to take Dante. In his usual snarky tone, responds with a yeah, sure, whatever, let's dance. In his world, it's just another Tuesday. But guess what? Mike's about to get the most unexpected plot twist since the invention of the "Ooh, killed the music video star" game. Just when Oyumi's about to land the first blow, bam, a bullet rings out, and Oyumi's world goes black. And who's standing in the shadows like the villain we all secretly love to hate? Big Ray, the mentor, the former big shot, the man whose bankruptcy story is one for the ages. And what does he do? He shoots Oyumi not to kill him, but to make an entrance. Big Ray walks over to Dante, and it's clear he's ready to finish what was started. But Mike's having none of it. He steps in front of Ray, blocking him with that signature Mike attitude. Before you do anything, let me just apologize for making you go broke. Alright, I'll take responsibility for your misfortune, but you're not getting your hands on him. Big Ray, who's been teetering on the edge of his rage-fueled decision, hesitates for just a moment. Mike's not wrong. If Dante dies, Fred gets the worst end of the deal. Mrs. User isn't exactly known for her forgiving nature. So, Big Ray finally relents. He cancels the hit on Dante, and the two of them make a plan to deliver Dante to Mrs. User. But before they do that, Mike, always thinking ahead, tells Dante to change into Fred's suit. You'll blend in better that way. Not long after Mike and Big Ray make the trade with Fred, Dante for Fred, the grand exchange, Mrs. User doesn't say much, but her glare says it all. Leave. And don't come back. And just like that, the game's over. Or is it? Mike and Fred, stepping away from this latest chaos, know this isn't the end. In the world they live in, nothing ever ends. It just gets more complicated. But for now, they've survived, and just when you think the madness is finally over, boom, here comes Big Ray with one last twist to keep you on the edge of your seat. Pulls out Fred's remote control. Yeah, the one connected to the suit Donnet was wearing. Boom. No more Dante. No more problems apparently. Big Ray's still playing the game his way, using every move as leverage. After the bombshell, pun intended, goes off, we find ourselves in a brief calm. Mike, Fred, Big Ray, and Xiaoling finally get to live life without the constant threat of assassins and double crosses looming over them. For now, Fred gets the moment he's been desperately waiting for. Lilo, his lost love. Thanks to Xiaoling's little favor, their reunion is sweeter than any action-packed bloodbath could ever be. They get to laugh. They get to live. And just like that, the movie ends. And just like that, we reach the end of this wild ride. What a surprise, right? But hey, before you go off and pretend to have a normal life, remember to hit that like button, like it's your only chance to avoid a hitman's bullet. And don't forget to subscribe because clearly you want more chaotic action, questionable decisions, and unnecessary explosions in your life. Turn on the bell so you'll know when we drop another video that'll have you wondering if you've lost your mind.